you are not alone. In fact, I received so many emails when you said that you missed last time's lecture, and at the same time, there were few emails in which you said that you were unable to understand the things properly. It happens, right? Don't worry about, because this is Saturday, so that's why what I thought is that we'll go for the revision and then I'll teach you something which will be useful for whole of your life. Right? It is a very simple thing. I'll tell you what it is. It is what is called as the neuro-linguistic programming. It is also called as the NLP. Now, why I thought of this? Because say last night when I was teaching my USMLE batch, I came across some crazy things. I mean, crazy concepts. They are such senior students, and they were having such thoughts. So I said that from where have you acquired such thoughts? They said, sir, YouTube. So that's why I thought that it is very much necessary to tell you about something so that before your brain gets spoiled by any of the BS things, right? Let's understand and practice it. And you'll be surprised that its effect will start within 3 days. Right? It is so scientific. And now I always say that, say, you all are doctors. Right? Just consider that you all are doctors. So that's why we'll be speaking in only medical language, at the same time in absolutely scientific way. Right? We'll not be telling that, say, because say when it is said that power of manifestation, right? There are thousands, lakhs of videos, and they say, yes, I'm getting money, but think of it. If this is the case, and if you just say I'm getting money, will you be getting it? Because in that case, so no one has to work, no one has to do anything. Pura din baith jao na, just keep on telling I'm getting money. Then why are you even studying? Because in brain, there are two sections, right? One is the logic, second is the artistic section. The moment you say that, yes, I'm getting money, I'm getting $1 million, right? Such nonsense videos where they say, bas, itna sun lo, aur aapke bank account mein 10 crore aa jaye. And you know how many views were there? There were, in just 3 days, there were 190,000 views. So many, right? So just for views, they speak anything. But then I thought that let's do it practically. So what we'll be doing is that in our today's agenda, one, I'll quickly go through the emails. Yes, there are so many emails with those blood reports, right? And I really could answer all of them. There are almost, now the number has increased to almost over 50 emails are there with the blood reports, and some of the emails they are from my other students also from other banks. But doesn't matter. By tomorrow, all mails will be answered. All the emails will be answered. Yes, regarding one email, that is I think from Saj, and I told you about to send the complete report. So I'm yet to see that, and I'll just have a look at it. Plus, there are one small thing to the person, to two persons, right? No, don't create any fake emails. Right? Oh, really? Nolika, in that case, I must have missed it. Right? I must have missed it, because what happens is sometimes when if I open the email and for any reason, if I'm distracted and I forget to answer, so then that mail it goes into red, and then so kindly send it again. So I was talking about that those no need to create any fake email. You can discuss any of the problem. I understand what you wrote. It is totally fine, because it is a matter of seconds to figure out that email is a fake email, right? You have just created just to hide your identity. No need to be shy about anything. Be bold, and it's like you can discuss and talk about it. Anyway, this is just a suggestion, not force. Next, this will be completing this revision in about say 10 to 15 minutes. Right? We'll be going slightly slow, but not that slow. Right? We'll finish this thing. Even after that, if there is any doubt, just let me know. We'll clarify it. But then, when we'll be starting with the NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, this is such a thing that normally it is said that anything which is given free now doesn't carry any value. Now at this point of time, I'm just telling you that don't take it that way. That कि चलो free में सिखा रहे हैं. After the completion of this revision, when we'll be talking about anything, trust me, to teach this thing, right, people charge in thousands. Right? So, and my expectation is what? You put it into practice from today, from the moment I'll start teaching. You have to implement it at that point. That this is absolutely practical. There would be hardly any theory. But the moment you will implement, you will be able to get the feel immediately. Because we'll be talking at the neuronal level. So I'll teach you that how to really do that. And this is in fact like a secret. This is like a secret that when a question is asked that after doing MBBS, then DMRE, then MD, I think there was an email also that, sir, what are all those degrees? Right? So there were medical degrees, that is up to MD radiology, and the super specialization in MRI spine. And then there are 23 degrees in IT, plus I'm also into the graphic animation plus other things, right? So how was it possible? All these things, they were acquired in the span of 16 months, right? 16 months. Now, not boasting, but normally, if you show these degrees to any of the engineering students, right, they will say कि कम से कम 4 से 5 साल लगेंगे. How was it possible that person who's purely in medical and could acquire this much? This is the reason, right? This is the reason. So I'll be telling you, and it's like you can ask any of the question during this NLP. You can ask any of the doubt, any of the question, and today's session will be considered as complete only after all your doubts are solved. So that's why I'm not putting any limit, any restriction, nothing. Right? Even if you'll ask 100 questions, I'll reply 100 questions. Right? Don't worry. This is such a thing which is life-changing. And then keep informing me, because it is like I'm taking you for a marathon. So I'm just showing you at this point that how to take a start. And as you will start, as we'll be going for 10 kilometers run, after 10 kilometers, someone will be having pain in the knees. Someone can have blisters in the foot. Someone will tell that I'm getting breathless. So answer for all of them would be different, because every brain is different. So that's the reason that we'll be conducting a practical session today after completion of this particular topic. This topic I'm taking initially is because there are lots of friends who joined for the first time, and there are few, right? As someone, I don't know your name because it's written like Samsung V23, but I don't know your name. But anyway, doesn't matter. But yes, there are even more, right? And for those who have understood the topic well, for them it would be like a quick, good revision, right? All right. So let's start. I think it's time. How many of us are here? And yeah, surely those who will be missing today's session, they will miss something, because we'll not repeat this session. This NLP thing will not repeat. So this was the receptors, right? It's receptors which we talked about last time. Let's start. So here is the cell membrane, right? Cell membrane, which is made up of, say, bilayer of lipoprotein. Now, these are all receptors. This is the 7-pass receptor. So this is a 7-pass receptor. 7-pass receptor means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right? It will go in, out, in, out, in, out. So that there is one center which is outside. There is another center which is inside. This is the outside the cell, and this is inside the cell. Ligand means it is any of the chemical, it is any of the hormone, any of the toxin. When it attaches over here, it will be making some changes inside What are those changes? That is the topic for today. Right? So this is also called as the 7-pass receptor. Another name of this is what is called as the GPCR, G protein coupled receptor, and G is guanine. Right? That is one of the protein. Right. That's right. Action site is inside. Now this was like very basic sympathetic and parasympathetic system. Parasympathetic system is our default system. Default system tells rest and digest, right? Relax. Sympathetic, when you want to fight, when you are under stress, when you are afraid. This is the reason why we are conducting NLP. Because from your emails, when you showed that, will I be able to get success? Will I be a good doctor? Arey, my friend, why not? क्यों अपने पे मतलब इतना डाउट कर रहे हो, right? मत करो. And when you trigger your sympathetic system for no known reason, suddenly you will find that, especially in case of males, right? This is a very harsh fact, and I'll be explaining some of the things thoroughly. These are some of the harsh facts. You'll be surprised that in current generation, right? This is true, right? In current generation, the ability to satisfy the partner is decreasing because people are under so much of stress, and that stress, it straight away affects your entire hormone cycles. So that's why there is increase in PCOD, right? And in case of males, there is decrease in the desire, right? They are more towards the money, career, and suddenly the rate of the conceiving that has decreased drastically. People are constantly under stress because their sympathetic system is constantly triggered. So at one point of time, they have got education, they have got the money, but there is no life. That life, that goes so bad. So we don't want that. Another thing, this regarding the PCOD, why there is the polycystic ovarian disease. This is one of the, how we can. Right? Definitely. We can have question answer session for it. Surely we can. No worries. Coming back to this, when I say that PCOD, polycystic ovarian disease, right, that is so common, polycystic disease. You know the reason? The reason is stunning. As I was reading, and it's like that nowadays, if you see how many females, they are wearing those bangles. Because this particular area, like wrist area, that wrist area is one of the acupressure centers for the uterus, right? The vertical thing, that is where the radial pulse is there. That is the center which is for the fallopian tubes. Now, because they were previously, if you see that they were wearing those kala, they were wearing those bangles, right? And those bangles, they were made up of glass. So when glass is a tough structure. So when it is giving that pressure, and automatically, right, it was stimulating and improving the blood supply. This is proven, that is true. And now out of 100, no, if you wear the watch, the level changes, right? No one wears the watch at this point, right? It is at a much higher level. Well, the brain fog, that is a totally different thing. Right? So we'll not, in that case, we have to go into the details of PCOD and we'll miss this topic. But yes, watch is at a higher. Bracelets. So I told you that whether it is a bracelet or classically, why it is called as that chudi, right? That bangle, because it is not thin, but people wear it twice or two or three. So when they move, right? So that is what is more important. Now, fine. I think I don't know about the bracelets, whether they will be effective, but should be. Anyway, coming back to this, so sympathetic and parasympathetic, they are so vital. This is considered as a default system, that is rest and digest. So over here, this is like a cool system, right? So acetylcholine, that would be the neurotransmitter. In this case, in case of sympathetic, we have got the adrenaline. So when we say ligand, it is drug, neurotransmitter, hormones, toxins, anything. When it is stimulating, and some effects will be happening inside. Now the effect is positive or negative. Well, for body, everything is positive. Everything is good. Only thing, then something is stimulated, it has to be stopped also, otherwise it will keep on increasing the heart rate. It will keep on increasing the blood pressure. Right? So that's why the balance, what is called as the homeostasis, is more important. This is a concept which one should never ever miss, right? This is a concept. That concept is that this is the cell membrane. Yeah, because there were a few emails on this. Understand carefully. This is a cell membrane, right? Cell membrane is not like a wall, right? It is a combination of all those lipoproteins. Right? So when the small molecular weight substances are there, they will just sneak in. They will be able to pass through it easily. Lipid soluble. This area is the lipid soluble. So anything which is soluble in lipid, it will easily go. Right? Lipid is fat. Yeah. And those who are uncharged. Uncharged means neither positive nor negative. They will be able to pass easily. Anything, say for example, if it is calcium, right? So then, if this is negatively charged, the calcium would be attracted and it will be say carry better, because opposite charges they attract. Now, if there is a negative charge, let's say chlorine, so then he'll be kicked out, right? Because like charges they will repel. But if there is no charge, right, so no one would bother. Pass. Importance of this thing in pharmacology. When we'll be telling that certain drugs they can cross the blood-brain barrier, so that they can have a neural effect. Certain drugs they won't be able to pass. Right? So that is where we'll be going into the speciality of all cell membranes and why they pass and why they don't pass. But the concept is this. On to the receptors. We have got 7 pass receptors, 1 pass receptor, and the ion channels. 7 pass receptor, GPCR, right? We talked about it, GPCR. So we'll say plus and minus. Plus and minus is, that is 1 when the outside that ligand comes. So inside it will say, chalo, everyone start working. So and they will increase the metabolism. The -1, when it will be stimulated outside, they say, stop. Those who are doing the metabolism, tell them to shant, right? So this is like they will say shant gadadhar, right? And this one will say chalo chalo, right? So that's the balance, and this balance is what is called as you'll come across this word homeostasis. This homeostasis word will always come when we'll be discussing any of the topic, right? When we'll be telling blood pressure regulation. That is, increase the blood pressure, decrease the blood pressure. So depending upon how the patient is, let's say you are handling the patient of burns, right? So there is so much of fluid loss, so that patient will be going into hypotension because the fluid has burnt, right? Tissues has been burnt. So this is where you need to give more fluid to the patient. So you want that blood pressure should rise, because if the blood pressure will fall, the biggest effect will be the brain perfusion. So liver will survive. Right? Lungs would survive. Right? If there is less blood going, so they will work, but they will not die. Brain can't survive even for 3 minutes. Right? Can't survive even for 3 minutes. So that's the thing. This is why on Quora someone wrote that my friend, he strangled himself to death. I had to write that, don't bluff. No one can अपना गला दबा के कोई अपने आप को कभी नहीं मार सकता. It is impossible. It is impossible, right? फांसी नहीं, मतलब they said strangle means अपना गला दबा, right? Forget about the willpower, any sort of willpower. The moment there comes the survival instinct, at one point, right, automatically the hand will come out. Right? It is exactly like holding breath and dying is also impossible. Yeah, it is absolutely impossible. Right? It is absolutely impossible, subject to if someone does some khel, right? Wo plastic bag and then apne haath bandh liye. Yes, they have to tie their hands, but still they will struggle. It is said that those who commit suicide, right, just before they die, the thought always comes to us, nahi marna. But then there is no way back. It is exactly like if you are a swimmer, if you know how to swim, you can't die in water. Because that instinct of swimming automatically comes. Your hands will automatically start moving and will come on the surface. That's the reason that they say कि वो पत्थर बांध के अंदर गिर. So the body system is so amazing. And why I'm telling this? Because in neuro-linguistic programming, you will find there are itनी ज्ञान की बातें की, but actually speaking, we are doing exactly the same thing. The only difference is we are not dying, but we are literally killing our intelligence. We are killing our logic. We are killing our self-confidence. So बोलने से कुछ नहीं होता कि नहीं I am self-confident. नहीं I'll be a good doctor. नहीं कुछ नहीं होता. Because if it is that easy, so then everyone would be like multi-billion. कुछ नहीं. This power of manifestation, we'll see that how to use it. The power of manifestation, but there is a method. So that's, and it would be based on all these receptors. So that's why I thought that I will club it. Okay, so this is guanosine protein, G protein coupled receptor. One pass receptor, self-explanatory, that will be passing the cell membrane just once. And these are the ion channels. You can consider that these are the special tubes through which only the special ions would pass, right? This was one of the events. That will there be a separate channel for calcium, sodium? Yes, there would be a separate channel for, say, calcium. And through that channel, only the calcium can pass. No one else can pass. Right? So these channels, and that's the reason that when there is stimulation, it will say, go and open the potassium channel. Right? Don't open any other channels. Now we know very well that this is the cell. Inside there is so much of potassium. Outside there is less potassium. As soon as the channel is open, what would happen? Inside potassium will say, bhago, right? They will start going out. When they will they go out into the extracellular fluid. This is what is called as the hyperkalemia, right? Hyperkalemia, right? So that is in fact the spelling, right? It is the hyper K-A-L-E, kalemia. We used to remember it like that. So this is hyperkalemia, and this hyperkalemia will do what? It will straight away affect the heart. All the cardiac arrhythmias, right? When we'll be discussing the cardiology, right? Very soon it will come. Next week only, right? It will very soon this cardiac arrhythmia will come. Because say our next week's plan is first the action potential. We'll see that, and then immediately we'll be understanding the cardiac arrhythmias. I mean the cardiac, how the pulse they go into the heart, right? How they are autogenic, all those things. So during that only, practically we'll be seeing the arrhythmias. That's from where it is occurring. And in this, a part will be the ECG. Right? It will be just a beginning, but yes, it will be important. Then there are few receptors. So these receptors will be coming into picture when we'll be talking about the cardiac arrhythmias. That is voltage. It is when the voltage changes. Now these are all very millivolt, very delicate volt, but yes, it makes big change. It will make big changes. Temperature. Why it happens that suddenly if there is too much of heat, right, you become uncomfortable. Right? Then pressure. Right? A touch is a different thing. Hard touch is a different thing, and the pressure is a different thing. So that's why in case of robotics, the most difficult thing to make is the hand. Right? Now with your hand, you can very well take a rose very delicately, and at the same time, you can hit a hard punch. Right? Everything with the same hand. Everything with the same hand. In case of robotics, if you just put all those servo motors, so that servo motor, which is a delicate motor, right, it will be doing the delicate work. But if you try to give a punch to that motor, it is of no use. Right? For that, you have to put a bigger servo motors. But hand is so advanced, right? And this is the touch. And in touch, so there are so many variations. So this will come in neurology about how the track of ball and burdock, right? How those tracks they take that touch and then they transmit all the way up. And when they go in the brain to that, then how are they processed? All those things we'll see. But this is how the receptors are. So coming to this GPCR, that is when we say it is like a high-low, right? Everywhere there will be the dadagiri, right? Active one. So here is the adrenaline. Adrenaline, the sympathetic system. This is the ligand. Ligand means we'll be stimulating this outer part. It is called as the first messenger because this is the point from where this communication is started, right? Comes to the action side. And in this action side, now this chota sa area, we just zoom this thing to this point, right? It is like we are doing this. So here there are, it is called as the trimeric protein. Trimeric means three components. Three components. Easy rakho na. This was also one of the questions. Meric means what? Part. Right? So kuch cheezein, keep it simple. This is like three subunits, right? Technically they are called as the subunits. So alpha, beta, and gamma. S matlab kuch nahi yaar. This was S because I wrote S. S means stimulatory. This is just for reminding that we are dealing with a stimulatory protein. If S nahi likhna ho, to you can, it is fine. It really doesn't make any difference, right? So S nikal bhi do, to be, it is, our idea is that there are alpha unit, there is beta unit, and there is a gamma unit, right? Don't confuse between that S is alpha, S is different, and alpha is different. No. This is because it is a stimulatory part. That's why we wrote alpha. But abhi nahi likhna. So in the resting phase, this is the unit, right? In the resting phase, it is having GDP. D means diphosphate. Right? It is the diphosphate. Di means there are two phosphate molecules. When there are two, so तीन लोग खाने बैठे हैं, and then only two are there, so they won't want much, right? थोड़ा थोड़ा खाने, right? So they are into resting phase, आराम से, right? हाँ, मजानी life, right? So juice पियो and मजानी life. So this is the guanosine diphosphate. This is the situation. Now the action starts. As the message comes from outside and from the action side, this phosphate bond, it attaches to GDP and now it becomes GTP. GTP, guanosine triphosphate. When it is GTP, so this is what is called as the excitatory state. Excitatory state. Now they are stimulated. Now they say, chalo, aap kaam karte. And this is the alpha. As such, nahi bolte alpha. Alpha, someone who is very aggressive, right? So this alpha tells, yeah, beta, gamma, right? Apna kaam alag, right? So he'll take this entire GTP, right? There are some movies also. मतलब वो बैंक रॉबरी की किया और then सारा पैसा एक जने लेके भाग गया. Right? There are some movies. So I watch lots of movies. So many of the examples. Italian Job, that is one of my most favorite movie. Right? So then we'll be learning the action potential, etc. So I'll be giving you even the examples from that movie. Right? My favorite movies are 36 Chamber of Shaolin. 36 Chamber of Shaolin, that is one of my all-time favorite. Entire Die Hard series. Right? That is my favorite. And Bond 007. All I got the entire collection. So these are my, still there are more, but no. So here it is. This alpha, this is GTP and alpha. So it gets separated. Now this GTP and alpha, it will tell bye to this beta and gamma, so they become separate. Right? Now this beta and gamma, as such, chup nahi baithte. They'll be going and they'll go to potassium channels. Right? They'll go to potassium channels. And they will be acting on some ion channels. These ion channels are the potassium channels. But deliberately, I have not explained this point because this is something which I'll be taking into action potential, right? To make things simple, because the foundation is more important. Still, there are other steps. But once this is fine, then we'll keep on adding the extra things. Right? So right now, don't confuse yourself that what it will do. Just keep in mind that they will be talking to some ion channels. Right? Free mein to baithe nahi rahe na, kuch to karenge. They will do something. The point is that maximum drugs they will be acting over here. So here is the adrenaline. It has got the stimulatory GPCR, and this GTP plus alpha, they'll go to this adenyl cyclase. Now this adenyl cyclase, chupchap baitha hua hai, he's not doing. This is also what? This is also nothing but one of the proteins. So this is our cell membrane. This is our 7-pass receptor. And here is the adenyl cyclase. Adenyl cyclase chupchap baitha hai, kuch nahi kar raha. And then it is stimulated. And over here, this is the alpha and the GTP. They say, chalo, iske paas chalo. So adenyl cyclase ab jaga. Yahan bol bhai. Right? So here is now adenyl cyclase. Now this adenyl cyclase will be phosphate. Now paisa. Right? So he'll take that phosphate and lat maar ke isko bhega diya GDP and alpha ko chal. right? GTP and alpha, they went over here with big expectations. It took this phosphate and this is pushed out that your work is complete, right? GDP and alpha. So GDP and alpha, this is now crying heel sick, and now this is back to that resting state. Chalo, let me talk to my friends, and he'll be going to this beta and gamma, and those friends are also, they will say, chal, theek hai yaar, jo hua hua aaja, right? And then they will be going into, this will be going into the resting state. So that now receptor has gone into resting state, but the action is now triggered at the level of adenyl cycles. They have triggered, right? So wahan se action shuru ho. Adenyl cyclase will immediately convert this ATP, adenosine triphosphate, into the cyclic AMP. This cyclic AMP is like a real currency, which can affect so many areas, right? So there is increase in cyclic AMP. As such, there is some cyclic AMP into the cell, but now the level increases. When the level increases, so they said that this is the second message, because cyclic AMP can affect multiple systems in a single shot. Right? So that is the cyclic AMP. Now what is happening is, this cyclic AMP will stimulate one protein, and this protein is protein kinase. This is the most powerful protein kinase. This protein kinase, it will affect GIA. GIA means it will affect gene, it will affect ion channels, and it will affect enzyme. We have deliberately changed the spelling of enzyme, right? Just to remember it. Because these three things, they will keep on getting repeated on and on and on, right? With every receptor that we'll be talking about. So the whole idea would be protein kinase, right? Protein kinase, are you activating protein kinase or you are suppressing protein kinase? The moment protein kinase is suppressed, all these effects, right, they will be subdued. So here it is, the gene which is activated, phosphorylation, that means it becomes active, and that will lead to genomic expression. That means it will start synthesizing all those proteins. If it is related to muscles, so then muscle building proteins, they will start, right? So this gene, you know that it is the chromosome, right? That is your nucleus, which is having that DNA. That is everything, right? Because they are like the blueprints that how to make proteins. We'll deviate from the topic. Otherwise, there is one very interesting, which is called as the autogene correction. That is also an amazing topic, but after. So second is ion channels, right? Ion channels, so they'll be acting on certain ion channels. In this case, let's say the calcium. So when the adrenaline is secreted, that means it will open calcium channels. The calcium from outside, it is coming into the cells. When it comes into the cell, this calcium comes in small amount, right? Because there was one email about one question about this also. Well, I said that this calcium will trigger the muscle contraction. Actually not, right? So what you wrote in the email, you are right. But this is called as calcium triggered calcium channels. That means in sarcoplasmic reticulum, right, which is like a storehouse of calcium. This is what it is. Say in your refrigerator, there is so much of food, but that food is locked and someone has locked the refrigerator. Right now, the key is not there. If someone comes with that key, so that key is not a food, but that key is to open the refrigerator. So same way, the small amount of calcium that will go to sarcoplasmic reticulum and it will trigger it, and then the large load of calcium that will be bombarded into the intracellular space, right? And that is what will lead to the contraction. So that is how it multiplies. Right? But we'll see that thing when we'll be talking about neuromuscular junctions, when we'll be talking about the contraction of muscle cells, right? But the point is, ion channels are triggered, right? So that calcium enters. And then the enzyme. These enzymes will be increasing the basal metabolic rate. And as we said, that this was like so it is called as the versatile biological amplification system. Just one stimulus and so many things that happen inside the cell. And because it is sympathetic, so everything will start rising. Increase heart rate, increase blood pressure, there is anger, anxiety, sweating, all those things, right? This is epinephrine, norepinephrine, adrenaline, noradrenaline. As there is a difference between both of them. We'll see it when we will talk about it. But basically, adrenaline, you can just remember adrenaline, that is the which gives the pump. Right? That's why many of those car racing games, right? They say adrenaline pump. Adrenaline pump is what? Right? It gives that stimulation. So even if you are playing, I do play games, right? Just behind you will see the whole cockpit is also there, and that racing wheel is also there with clutch, brake, accelerator, gear system, gear brake. We'll play games also some. So here it is that GDP alpha goes back to beta gamma, and then once again the resting phase is procured. But when the stimulus comes, you take it to steady, right? This GTP, the once again GTP alpha will say, let's go to adrenal cyclist for business. Adrenal cyclist, once again, he will that loot lega isko, right? Phosphate taken, and once again that GDP and alpha, that will become udas, he'll go back to this beta gamma, and they will be going into the resting phase. This cyclic EMP, as it increases, it will be triggering protein kinase, and that protein kinase will stimulate this gene, ion channels, and enzymes. Do we have to play game? Yes, you can play games. I do play, but restricted. Should not take your time. There has to be a reward system. Just remind me of telling about this when we'll be talking. Just after 5 minutes, we'll be talking about that. So let me know. The games they play are very big because your brain needs some reward, but it has to be in the form of reward. It should not be 3 घंटे से game. In Georgia, I met a group of people. They say, "Sir, हम सवेरे 4 बजे तक कौन सी game? Shooting game. Very common game. That shooting game. There are 2 groups. PUBG. 6. कितने आंसर आए? इतने फास्ट? Yeah, follow me. Sub. So coming back to this parasympathetic system, when I'll ask about this receptors na kab itne fast are. See how interesting it is. Chalo. So this is now the parasympathetic system. Parasympathetic system is rest and digest. Though you have stimulated the system, right? Now everything is going at a higher level. We need to get it down. So this is the acetylcholine. Acetylcholine, when it is stimulated over here, it will come more. Then this is the action site. And this action site is again having, because it is 7-pass receptor, all the 7-pass receptors are GPCR, G protein coupled receptors. So they are having guanosine, right? But what will it do? That depends upon the inside action, right? Otherwise, guanosine is there. So this is an inhibitory. Inhibitory means its action. So once activated, when they are resting, so they'll say, "Chalo, jisko jo bolna hai bole." When the resting phase completes, when it is stimulated, they say, "Chalo, now we need to silent the system." So here is the alpha, right? Along with GTP, right? The same style, stimulated, it goes, but this time, this is like it will go to this adenyl cycle, right? He'll say that ये क्या बवाल मचा रखी चुप, right? He'll say shut down, right? He'll shut down the adenyl cycles, and when he'll shut down the adenyl cycles, then that ATP, which was getting converted into cyclic AMP, that would be stopped. That would be stopped. तो कहते हैं बस आगे से नहीं, right? So that conversion is stopped. So now cyclic EMP's level would start dropping. When cyclic EMP's level start dropping, it will affect protein kinase. It will affect protein kinase. Straight away, it will affect protein kinase. Because protein kinase, तो इसी पे जिंदा रहता, cyclic EMP. Now protein kinase will say, okay, I'll not work. Right? So he'll not work. He'll not work. The moment protein kinase is not working, straight away, it will affect the gene, it will affect the ions, it will affect the enzyme. So entire basic metabolism, right? down. So this is like how the systems, they will from active, they will be deactivated. So ATP, that is to cyclic AMP, that is by adenyl cyclase, you stop that. But what about the cyclic AMPs, those who are already working, right? Those who are already working. So body has got a defense system. That defense system is the phosphodiesterase. This is one enzyme that, in spite of that stimulation, he'll say cyclic AMP. जैसे sometimes parents say कि ठीक है, चलो अब फोन पे 30 मिनट खेल लिया, बस चलो अब पढ़ाई, right? So this phosphodiesterase is like mom, right? He'll say cyclic AMP, बस बहुत हो गया काम, चलो back to AMP, right? So they will take you out of that active gaming to normal, chalo, shant, right? So this phosphoesterase is that which is converting cyclic AMP active into that AMP, which is not working, right? What coffee does? Coffee is like Rishwat to mom, 5 minutes, right? So coffee is that. So when we say, okay, acha, mom is not speaking for that 5 minutes, 10 minutes, so thodi der extra khel, right? So this phosphodiesterase is inhibited by coffee. So when phosphodiesterase is inhibited, that means there is no one who will be telling no to cyclic AMP, and cyclic AMP will keep on working, which will keep on boosting the metabolic rate, which will keep the heart rate up, which will keep the blood pressure, will keep the brain active, right? And that is the effect of coffee. So but after some time, once again, it will be putting back into the normal state. The effect of drugs is like when this effect is extremely powerful. When it is so powerful, when it is so prolonged, that it starts giving all those negative impacts, because body is not understanding, brain or heart, they are not understanding. Heart tells that if I am getting the stimulus, I have to work. So it will keep on rising, it will keep on rising. Blood pressure is rising. Heart will not understand, right? It will say, if I am given the signal, it is my duty to work. So that's how things they really go. This was a comparison, sympathetic and parasympathetic. In sympathetic, this is the adrenaline, and over here it is acetylcholine. That's why these receptors are called as the adrenergic receptors, right? When we'll be saying that these are adrenergic receptors, that means they are stimulated by adrenaline only. When we'll be telling cholinergic receptors, that means it is the acetylcholine receptors. Taking daily a cup of coffee, does it affect body? I take 2 cups of coffee. एक सुबह and then at evening 4 o'clock. इससे कुछ नहीं होता, and थोड़ा तो चलता है. Doesn't matter. Say before my long races, right, when we are supposed to run for full marathon, 42 kilometers. So I'm not advertising Red Bull, and none of you should ever take the Red Bull. It is the worst thing. It is the worst thing. Right? But in some of the races, once you cross the distance of about 37, 38 kilometers, that's when you're so exhausted and you have got only 4 kilometers left out. They give you Red Bull. They give you Red Bull. And Red Bull is loaded with sugar, and it is loaded with caffeine. Right? So that is what gives the pump to go for the last final 4 kilometers. Because races, they usually start at 5:30. Right? By the time when you are finished those 38 kilometers, the sun is already on the head. Right? So none of the drinks, they are that good, because it is that at that point, if you take the drink, right, for few kilometers, 1 or 2 kilometers, so it is fine, but then straight away it takes you down the way, right? Because it leads to that insulin insensitivity, insulin resistance. So that's not at all good. We'll talk about all these, that how poorly, right, that Amir Khan and right, all those Dimagi and go, and it's like spoiling the current generation. These actors, right? Sorry to say, but पैसे के लिए तो कुछ भी बोल दे, they can do anything. So that's why you being doctors, right, read the content, read it, that how much sugar is there, how much caffeine is there, to what levels, And then they are charging 100 rupees for that itna sa dabba, which is not costing even 2 rupees. It's that sasta. That's the reason. Itna socho na, matlab, these actors, will they be doing all these advertisements for free? They charge a bomb. Fir bhi they can afford it then, because the margin is so high. All these cold drinks. Right. So all these, because now the questions are like alcohol and beer and how much sugar and caffeine. Sugar says sugar is good only if you are going hypoglycemic. If you are really गुटखा तो यार आप बात ही मत. It is like I lost respect for that person. No. Right? Gutka and everything, so that is, मतलब the way they show, they are बहुत बड़े macho men है. Maza consists of lots of sugar, loaded with sugar. Just check the sugar level. It's so high. Always see the ingredients. For if you have got the high uric acid, then you need to cut down the protein. But to gain muscles, right, there is a method. What is called as what type of exercises you do. If you're एक बड़ी simple सी बात, right, बहुत simple. No package drinks, आप content देख लेना. अच्छा. The exercise isotonic and isometric. They will keep a day isotonic and isometric exercise, and then simple exercise and the compound exercise. So it is the combination of these exercises. We'll take one extra day, one special day for discussing all this. Can they show fake contents? They cannot. Because then Food and Drug Administration, right, they are what laga them. Beer, well, I have never tasted. I don't drink, right? So I won't advise you. Achha. Chalo, so let's finish this part. So adenyl cyclase that stimulates ATP to cyclic AMP, and it is this cyclic AMP which will trigger protein kinase, and protein kinase by the process of phosphorylation will act on so many areas, like alternative of soft drinks, nimbu sharbat, must warm water, add nimbu, and in that you can add that shakkar. Right? I'm not telling the sugar, that tukla, right? Shakkar, shakkar. So, and in this case, this is a phosphatase. So this phosphatase will knock off these phosphates. So this cyclic AMP that goes to AMP, that is the phosphodiesterase, and coffee will be inhibiting this phosphodiesterase to get some extra time. Yeah, actually, what you wrote, Akshat, is really good. Water is the best drink, right? Water. I keep this big water. मतलब target is कि दिन की 3 bottle खत्म करो. It will actually keep you very active. Trust me. Achha, this is the email, right, for those who are here for the first time. This is the email address. Note this address, and for the PDFs, right, I'm telling again. And I'm telling again that still you are mbbs@gmail.com. Just send a mail and I'll send you the link. That is the link where all the PDFs are there. Right. So this was the last time's discussion, which we took almost fully. Every point was explained. Now, on to today's topic. Now, for next 30 minutes, seriously, either turn off your cell phone या बाजू में रखो, but no disturbance. Fully focus, because this 30 minutes, you have to understand every point very meticulously. Any doubt, ask immediately. अभी क्या भी पूछ ले, right? Even if there are 100 questions, I'll answer all of them. So let's start. सब अच्छी बात है, right? सब कहते हैं positive, right? Positive, hard work, hard, then और क्या? Willpower, willpower. People talk about this thing. कितना अच्छा लगता है सुनने. Now I tell you what is willpower. 1st January will be here. 1st January. 1st January says 7th January, right? Will be here. This is, just check it out. Check any of the gym, right? Gym membership, the annual gym membership, it goes skyrocket. And the people take, chalo admission, right? 1 साल का पैसा भर दिया. Gym survive because it has been proven that more than 70% of the people, right? Or at least 70% of the people, they don't go to gym after paying for full year. They don't go to the gym for more than 50 days. Out of 365 days, 65 दिन का पैसा भर के 50 दिन भी नहीं जाता. More than 70%. In Plus Fitness, right? The gym, Plus Fitness, so their instructors, they are good friends. They said कि हमने एक स्कीम रखी कि 365 में से out of 365, those who are coming to the gym for 200 days, na, next year free. Next year free, no paisa. He said, sir, आज तक, right, this scheme is there since 5 years. आज तक total 25 लोग भी नहीं पूरा कर सके. 25 लोग होंगे, but we are happy क्योंकि इन 25 के पीछे we have enrolled more than 2,000 people. Right? So that is Hardik, that is good. That is good that you are into that 30%. But this is exception. But this is true. This is what really happens. You look at your surroundings. लोग कहेंगे अच्छा अभी नहीं, आज नहीं, थक गए, कल जाएंगे, परसों जाएंगे, right? मंडे से जाते. My advocate himself, he is very good friend of mine, but he will say कि सर आज बाद में चल, right? आप जाके आओ. So it happens. And then he'll say कि आज client का phone आने. Excuses are endless. The more intelligent you are, the best excuses you will give. And those excuses are so convincing. And whom are you convincing? You are convincing yourself, right? Not anyone else. You are just fooling yourself. Making all those excuses काम नहीं करने के बहाने. Simple. Otherwise कहते हैं ना कि अच्छा जिम में अगर जो कोई अच्छी लग गई तो then how regularly you are. I'm not telling you how. But होता है ना कि चलो वो कितने बजे आने वाले, 9 बजे, तो देन बाकी का सब काम एडजस्ट हो जाता है. 9 बजे शार्प, 8:59, right? You are at the gym. So it happens. True na? Experience? हाँ क्यों नहीं यार, experience पक्का. I always say from my own experience. So all these things, right? Positive thought, hard work, willpower, क्या है? मतलब you have paid thousands of rupees and then not going to gym, नहीं जाते. दूसरा छोड़ो. This is a question to everyone. If you open your cupboard, in your cupboard, how many t-shirts or shirt or dress they are there? जिस दिन से खरीदे हैं आज दिन तक पैक पड़े हैं, खोले भी नहीं. Is there? Am I right? Right. Yes, many. Okay. 4, 5. Okay. Now see why it happens. खरीद लिया, and then you feel like नहीं अभी. No, nothing. You can avoid at that time. During those specific 5 days or 4 days, right, it is better to go for simple walk. So if you are going to gym, what you can do is you can just walk on the treadmill at the speed of say 6 or 7, right? But not more than 7, so that you don't have to run. Fast walk is comfortable. Speed of 6 is okay. Right? So comfortably it can be done. 30 minutes of walk, so that at least your circulation that remains better. So right, that was the question. So baki to sub answers yes, and there are few no. You will find that there were just 3 or 4 no's against so many yes. So this is a normal human mentality. It happens. So what we are telling is, when you purchased anything, you are very, very intelligent. Right? You are very intelligent. You are knowing that it is costing this much, but खरीद लिया और घर आके फिर पहने ही नहीं, पड़ा है. Then suddenly you feel like नहीं अब नहीं अच्छा, अब नहीं अच्छा. तो तब दिमाग में नहीं आया. With all the logic, everything was there, same brain, everything same. The thing what is called as, at times we buy the things which we don't need, or which we don't use. From today onwards, I keep on writing the habits which you have to change. Now, this is the change which you will implement. We'll just talk about it. This is the first habit. घर में जो भी बड़ी चीज हो, whatever the things which you buy, मतलब अभी भी घर में just check it. Anything if it is new, literally open it, use it. जिंदगी का क्या भरोसा, क्यों पड़ा रहने का? यूज इट यार, एंजॉय इट. I do have the entire Canon system, right? Canon 5D Mark III. It's one of the very fine camera, right? I've got 3 cameras and plus 9 professional lenses. But if you see the halat of those, and आपको लगे यार इतना यूज किया, yes, दिन 10. अरे पानी गिरे, डस्ट गिरे, वो बना इसलिए, उसको कब तक शोकेस में थोड़ा रख के, यूज इट फुल्ली. One of the lens got damaged, हो गया, उसने 5000 फोटो खींच लिए तो उस लेंस, उसकी लाइफ खत्म, तो कोई बात नहीं. Proceed further, use them, right? If you don't use them, right? If you really don't use them, after some time their value would decrease and they become obsolete, and फिर अफसोस होगा कि यार क्या. So always कुछ भी नया मत रहने, use it. All this self discipline वगैरह सब आ जाएगा. I have saved them to wear on a vacation or something. अरे कुछ नहीं आ रहा है, use it. आज ही vacation, एक बार use कर लो. It's not so that in vacation you have to wear that brand new thing. देख तो सही. So this is the first habit. This will do, you know what? This will stimulate your parasympathetic system. Because now your eyes would search कि क्या नया पड़ा है, ये पैक क्यों पड़ी है बॉटल, right? I mean, not दारू की बॉटल, मतलब this bottle, right? ये पैक क्यों पड़ी है? There are 3 other water bottles, ठीक है, but this is ये नई क्यों नहीं? Let's open it, right? Use it. You will be very happy. खूब मजा आएगा. So this is what you do. First thing, I eat stuff at home and then you get scolded. अरे निर्मल क्यों वेट कर रहे हो यार? टुडे इज अ गुड ऑकेजन, राइट? आज नई चीज सीख रहे हो, टुडे इज अ गुड ऑकेजन, यूज इट. वेट मत करो. म्यूट. Now we talk about what you have to do. See, there is lot being said about power of manifestation. कितना बोलते हैं पावर ऑफ मैनिफेस्टेशन, कि आंख बंद करो, मुझे पैसा मिल रहा है, मैं ही हो रहा हूँ, is that? Think it like, if it is said that just pick up randomly someone, right? Chalo, Tanmay, right? I'll not take this up. Just Tanmay. So here is the Tanmay. Tanmay, if I say कि क्या आदित्य कैसा है, what will you feel? If I'm telling Tanmay that Aditya कैसा है, तो Tanmay will think I'm not Aditya, right? This is what your brain is. That for Tanmay, if I don't call him by his name and in fact I say something, immediately there would be the rejection. That's your brain, right? So if I call him by any other name, think it like, close your eyes. Let's say Arya. Let's say Om. Let's say यार आप तो सब Toshiba, Samsung पता ही नहीं चल रहा. Akshat, right? So if close your eyes and think like if someone tells, "Hi Akshat, kaisa hai?" So then if your eyes are closed, how will you feel? This is fine, right? And if you are said that, "Hi Shahrukh, kaisa hai?" So you feel, "Kaun yaar? I am not that." But immediately there will be rejection. This is what you have to understand. That is your brain. Your brain, you can't fool this brain. Your brain knows it very well that what is true and what is false. There is no gyan needed for that. This is like inbuilt system. This is the inbuilt system. It is what is called as the cognitive ability. It is the inbuilt system of the brain. And yes, to all my dear boys, in any of the party, it is a male mentality. Chalo females ko impress kar. And in party, that all bandargiri, you feel like, yes, I'm trying to look different. But that female has already noticed that bandargiri. Because two reasons. One, the visual field of female, right? These are the eyes and these are the plates, right? Orbital plates. The orbital plates of female, they give 6 degrees wider vision as compared to the orbital plates which are like in case of male. It is literally like that. So the peripheral vision of the female. So when the female is watching, she is watching a big area as compared to what you are watching. Right? So this is in case of male, it's the peripheral vision, the field of vision that is restricted. In case of female, it is much higher. So before you noticed her, she has already noticed you. And then all these scale, right? She has noticed. And in case of female has got what is called as the sixth sense. Sixth sense. Now that's a different thing, that if you don't cultivate it, it dies. It dies. So this is a sixth sense. You'll find that any of the female, within split second, they'll know whether this person is good or not. Still, they say कि फिर भी females कई बार cheat होती है. Not today, but someday we'll be talking about what's called as the dark psychology. Right? This is very bad, extremely bad, but you should really understand it. When we'll be discussing some of the concepts about the central nervous system, we'll be talking about dark psychology, that how it affects. But for today, first we make ourselves strong. So the point is that all these things, whatsoever we are talking about, our brain is doing, right? Considering that, yes, it will give me the desired result. Not every time, right? It doesn't give the desired result. So power of manifestation, when they say speak in present tense, right? Speak in this sentence for the money, for this, for relationship, for career, सब बातें. And they say कि हाँ थोड़ी effect हो भी जाती है psychology, but it is not going that powerful. If we say कि अच्छा physiology is easy, but one part of the brain tells गाली बोल के easy, पढ़ के देख तो पता चले. They'll say anatomy is easy, right? You tell yourself 100 times, anatomy is easy, anatomy is easy, right? Show me the course of that aorta से मतलब branches निकली all the way circle of Willis तक, right? दिमाग खराब करते हैं. इतनी branches, no way it is easy. So brain tells चुप चुप जरा भी easy नहीं है. So one part of the brain is telling, no, it is not easy. One part of the brain नहीं मैं बोलूँगा it is easy. Brain keeps on fighting. It is exactly like those who smoke, right? Those who smoke उनको बोलो कि सिगरेट नहीं पी, हाँ बस आज से नहीं पिएंगे, चलो आपने बोला ना नहीं पी. Now see the situation. When the cigarette comes in front of them, they'll say nahi peeni, right? Nahi peeni, right? No, one part is like pee le, nahi peeni. This is what? This is like ये दो बच्चे, दोनों आप ही के बच्चे. एक बच्चा खुश किया हाँ नहीं, तो दूसरे को तो दुखी किया. दूसरे सेकंड वाली जाने है कब तक, right? That's why all willpower things they break after continuous. मतलब it requires unless and until, say for example gym का example क्यों, or when say you are into medical, right? You have to study a lot. So during that phase, at any point अगर जो gear change हो गया, speed slow हो गई, then the problem, right? Because the material will keep on mounting one after the another. From the next month, as we'll be starting with multiple topics, right? And we'll be going with one after another topic. एक topic miss हुआ and it will affect so much for the next topics, because then we won't be able to do it. So there has to be a powerful system जो आपको कभी demotivate नहीं. This is a long run, 5 साल, and who not only 5 years, and then the internship, and then the post graduation, then maybe super specialization, and then you will reach to that level where you will be proud of yourself, right? So it's a 10-year mission. 10 saal, 10 years mission. That's why it is like a marathon. So over here, खाली बोलने से कुछ नहीं. When you say कि this subject is easy, अरे पढ़ो तो पता चले यार इतना difficult, right? नहीं easy. So this yes no, it keeps on happening, and in this is the state of confusion, right? State of confusion. So what to do? Solution. Regarding this running part, we'll talk about, right? So this is the state of confusion. Itna confusion. Now the solution. For this solution, we'll be taking care of this part of the brain specialty. There are certain things which are always true. Always true. And there are certain things which are always false. And your brain knows about it. Example. Let's say your name is Om, right? Your name is Om. Your name is Tanmay. Your name is Arya. This is always true. Your name is always true. Under any circumstances, it cannot go wrong. This is what is called as the tagging. Neuro-linguistic programming. Neuro means brain. Linguistic means it is a language, and programming, you are preparing your brain with certain situations. That is, when you do it, right, instantly you'll be getting the response. So, have you ever experienced that on some days everything is fine, but still you feel like यार मजा नहीं आ रहा, dull day, कुछ नहीं हुआ, कोई खराब चीज नहीं, but still feel यार आज मजा नहीं आ रहा, right? You are feeling, right? Happens, yes. And if a question is asked, यार क्या हुआ? Your best friend is with you, your mother is with you, your father is with you, and then they say कि क्या हुआ बेटा? पता नहीं. Answer is पता नहीं. but you internally you feel like नहीं आज रोना आ रहा है, नहीं मजा. Some days are reverse. कुछ खराब भी हुआ ना, अरे चलेगा, चल कुछ नहीं, चल let's have ice cream, चल मजा कर, right? It happens. Some days you are very happy, and some days for no reason you are sad. यहाँ पे तो कुछ खराब भी हुआ ना तो भी चलेगा, भी चलेगा. So it means those external factors, the success or failure, they have got nothing to do with this happiness or sadness. हाँ ठीक है, एग्जाम में फेल हुए या कुछ कम मार्क्स आए, दुखी हो गए, but it is not so that for rest of the life दुखी पड़े. कितना भी बड़ा दुख, time is the healing factor. It's the time heals. So that means there has to be another system which is running, and this is. I'm giving you the example of, let's say, you are doing, I'll give you the example of money.
Paisa.
Very valuable. Just move. So let's say in share market, 1,000 rupees is lost. 1,000 rupiya gaya. And it is the point when you have to click that, yare yaar, 1,000 ka loss book karna. And you are clicking it, and at that point, bahar se ambulance pass. You go to some party, you are wearing your best of the dress, you are looking so beautiful, right? 10 जनों ने बोला कि हाँ यार बहुत अच्छी, and then one person tells यार तुम मोटी हो गई है, gone, right? ये 10 लोग फालतू थे, ये इसने बोला कि तुम मोटी हो गई. Then for rest of the party, rest of the day, rest of the night, even next morning, right? And as soon as that person comes in front of you, you feel कि हाँ, and खत्म. That is the advertisement, and the principle of advertisement is to exploit human weaknesses. To exploit human weakness. If you have understood this, now we go for the solution. See, we are vulnerable at so many points. So what we say is that there are some facts which are always true, and we have to find out some facts which are always false. So here your name is 100% right? Let's say your father's photo, right? That is 100% right. It could be father's photo, brother's photo. Right? People are narcissists. People are like that. जो कहते हैं ना कि say this is you, and if I am this, I'll feel like अरे ये मेरे से बड़ा हो गया, तो then ये इसकी लाइन को ये नहीं कि you try to improve yourself, नहीं, people do इसकी लाइन काटो, so that they can project themselves that bigger. Again, I'm not pointing to anyone, but say, I don't know if you got that person here or not, but learn to respect everything. So now what you will do is, just before, this is a solution which I'm doing, and we'll start practicing it right now. हाँ, that's okay, Anish. दूसरों को नीचा दिखा के ऊपर जाने की जनरेशन. See, no comments on that, right? But बस अपने आप पे focus करो. When you'll focus on yourself, you will be progressing at such a fast pace that people will be jealous of you. Right? होने दो. बस that success को दिमाग में मत चढ़ने. Be humble, be calm, because that will be the boosting factor. It will take you miles ahead as compared to everyone. मैंने मेरी एक बैच में, not taking name of that batch, but मैंने एक बैच में सिर्फ इतना ही बोला कि आप इतने कम स्टूडेंट्स हो तो भी इतना पॉलिटिक्स क्यों खेल अंदर why? कुछ प्रॉब्लम है, talk to me directly, no politics. But this is what really happens. कुछ नहीं. इसीलिए today, right, it is like I'm talking one to one. All of you are talking one to one. दुनिया गई बाहर में. To hell with the rest of the world. Now, what you will be practicing? This is I'm writing, right? Just sit back, relax, and what you will say is that I am, and then take your name. So this is actually you have to speak. Actually, you have to speak. And just speak it for 3 times, and as if you are something so awesome that you have to speak. आप दिमाग में बोलोगे तो भी चलेगा, but you have to really feel it. We want our brain to feel the importance of yourself. Importance of yourself. Because when you start giving importance to yourself, automatically all those negative comments will say, you will be able to eliminate them in a second. Right? I'll show you a method also. So this is first you have to appreciate yourself. I am, and your name. And full name, pura name. The way you would like to say be addressed. So if you wish, yes, you can add. I am Dr. Shida. I am Dr. Anish. Sure, why not? Why not? Maybe I missed that. I'll just check regarding the email. Right? So take that. Next step is now you add all the adjectives which you really want to. This is what is called as the tagging. Tagging is when you are attaching with anything which is 100% true. So it will start happening that when you say, I am most beautiful, and your name, now your brain would be convinced, yeah, this is correct. When you say, I am beautiful, brain will say, will give you 10 excuses. Nahi, abhi to tera weight zyada hai, abhi to ye hai, right? All those logics. But when it is associated with anything which is true, it will be immediately effective. It will be immediately effective. I'll show you both positive and negative. Over here, start modifying. Let's say you want to be someone who can read faster, who can remember everything. So then everything will be like I am. You will be taking your name every time, and then start making those sentences. You might have to write these because it is very much important that because today night before you go to sleep, when you speak this, you have to prepare these sentences. Don't prepare more than 5. 5 is the limit. Maximum 5 ideas. I would suggest 3 ideas. So in 3 ideas, it can be like that I am the person, right? I am your name and having very powerful body. I can run, and then along with the name, this much. Right? So over here, it could be regarding your health, it could be regarding your relationship, money, education, career. Again, yeah. So this is first thing. This is the first thing. Make 3 sentences, and now when you go to sleep, you'll be spending just 3 minutes. And in this 3 minutes, you'll be doing the belly breathing, which we rarely do. So belly breathing. Belly breathing means what? Belly breathing is when you breathe in, right? Instead of chest, your abdomen should swell. You keep one hand on the abdomen when you breathe in, right? So then, literally, simple language में पेट में हवा भरो. So actually, when you do that, it is the diaphragmatic movement. So this is much better movement. All the babies, bacha, right? They do the belly breathing. This is much better breathing. This is a deeper breathing. And then in through your nose, out through your mouth. So breathe in and then right, out. You have to do this thing only 10 times. 10 times. After that, it will be a normal breathing. And then all those 3 sentences which you spoke, right? Sentence 1, sentence 2, sentence 3. Keep repeating those sentences at a slow pace, right? At a slow pace. The next step is visualization, but I'll not be, no, breathe in and out through mouth. No, breathe in through nose. And then, got it? Not this. No, that is completely different thing. That is what you do when you are running, right? It will stimulate sympathetic system. You don't want to stimulate sympathetic. You want to stimulate parasympathetic, right? So breathe through nose, out the mouth. Just consider this is the beginning, right? Time to time, I'll keep on teaching you more and more skills because we have to fight with everyone. Every medico who is learning any corner of the world, you have to fight with them. Right? So that's why all these skill sets, they are vital. All right. So this you'll be doing at a slow pace. Keep doing this. And because you are doing it at a slow pace, you will not know when you will be falling to sleep. You will be going into sleeping into sleep. Neend aa jayegi. But your brain will continue doing it. Your brain will continue. That's why these 3 sentences, they are very important at what you are writing. But in all these cases, it is important that it has to be in present tense and it must include your name. Your name. One step higher, one variation I mean. Say, I lost my father way back, but still I do talk. Even on my cell phone, right? His photo is there. No, just 3 sentences, and same sentences we will be speaking for next 10 days. Got it, Satan? Sentence 1 created, sentence 2 created, sentence 3 created, and these are the 3 sentences which you'll keep on repeating every night. Same. What I was talking about is, say, I talked with my father. He was like my friend. We used to, so I was having Bullet. My father was driving Kawasaki. So we used to race. And unfortunately, I lost him. But at that point, he was like a support system. Any problem, right? And then a phone goes. What to do? But still today, say after I learned the entire finance, he was AGM Dena Bank. I was zero in finance. After he passed away, everything, that burden came on me, right? Lost huge amount of money. But then I always say, simply by his guidance, that virtual guidance, I learned everything back and gained everything back. So it happens. So that is also NLP. When you are talking with someone, not physically, right? He is not in front of you, but his picture, his image, yes, it comes. But at this point, let's keep it simple. Then gradually, as you will go at a higher level, right? Just 10 दिन के लिए कर लिया. Then the next is, what I'll be teaching you is, you can trigger this thing in 1 second. In 1 second. So you are running a race and 10 kilometer पे लगा कि अब नहीं दौड़ा जाएगा. And then suddenly something happens and then you are running for another 20 kilometers. Logic tells कि क्यों body नहीं थका, हाँ पर पीछे शेर पड़ा हो तो, right? If there are some terrorists behind you, तो कैसे भागोगे? Right? If it is said that, say this is, it was, and this was a real experiment, right? Real experiment. In a big hall, so many people were there, and they said this is, यहाँ पे एक stool रखा, इधर एक stool रखा, and then there was a wooden slab put. The person, right, very famous psychologist, right, he said that can someone come up over here? And all he has to do is he has to just walk from here to here. And if he succeeds, I'll be giving him $50. One gentleman came, he said, oh, this is so easy to do. Right? He walked. He said, $50. Fine, take it. He said, okay, one more time. If you walk again, I'll give you $100. He said, is this a joke? He walked again, so he take $100. He said, okay, again, if you walk, I'll give you $250. And then he went crazy. He said, yeah, this is so easy. Again, he said, okay, now 500. Done. He said, okay, so that means you are good at it. We are right now on floor number 27. And here is another building. So there was similar slab which was kept. He said, now, because you know that you have earned reward 4 times, you are very good in walking on this wooden slab. Cross from here to here. I'll give you $1,000. He said, are you crazy? I don't need it. No. He said, okay, 2,000. No. He said, even give you 10,000, I'll not. Why? Practice 1, 2, 3, 4 times. You know it gives returns, they are so high. But then there is a fear. Agar jo gire to, bas, it is this fear which takes you down. Now this person said, okay, right, risk. Now this person said, okay, now I'll not give you even $1 single, still you will cross. And he said, no. He said, okay, what if the condition is this building is on fire? This building is on fire. And your daughter is over here and is shouting, daddy, daddy. Now, Will you go? He said, yes. This is the thing. Now, if we say that risk, that fear, right? Don't you think that it is carrying the same risk? Yeah, but then what is that? This means your emotions, they are much more powerful. Your emotional brain is much more powerful. We all talk about money, that yes, once I become a doctor, I'll get this money, that money, and all those things. But your emotions are the most powerful. So over here in neuro-linguistic programming, when you make those three sentences, in those three sentences, you'll be talking about yourself only. Make yourself fantastic, make yourself so big, so powerful, right? And this is what you will be speaking every day before you go to sleep at a slow pace. Now, once this thing is done, now in every lecture, I'll be spending just 5 minutes, and then I'll be giving you one day. But not before 10 days. For 10 days, trust me and keep doing this for 10 days. I'm not asking for more, just for 10 days. Possible? Possible? Can it be done? I'll see. Now see, I like that, right? Yes in capitals, right? Or yes like this, YESSS. That was good, right? Very nice. Good, Ayushi. Very good. Now just watch how many participants are there. 131. We started with 200. What has happened to these 7? And why you guys are over here? Why it is not happening that you felt कि नहीं नहीं अब ये तो सब हमें पता है? No, still their loss. Exactly. Not only that, say if you don't put it into implementation, you will not get that fruit. And sometimes things which are very easy, na people feel कि नहीं इससे नहीं होगा. अरे दोस्त करके तो देख. Just do it. And as I said that I teach only that thing which I have implemented on myself. So that's the reason. Right? I thought like there were many emails. So don't lose faith on yourself. And these 3 sentences, इसके अंदर तो you just kill the world. It is like whatever, you be the best and the best and the best. बहुत सोच के अच्छे से, right? And write those sentences. Modify them 100 times. But when you write those sentences, they could be lengthy, right? No problems. But be the best. Must. Over here, it is not so that you will be egoistic. Arey, likho yaar. I know whatever you want, what you want to become, then that's what you have to write. Just 3 sentences. Thing is, at times we forget to appreciate ourselves. This is the time. Take your good time, right? Today, और कुछ भी नहीं करोगे तो चलेगा, because it will change the whole life. ये चीज, this thing will continue for rest of your life. And then, as will progress, right? It is what is called as the tapping. Tapping means, I'll just explain that also. एक बार, once 10 days are over, na, right? Don't do it before 10 days because it won't work. Right? After 10 days, your brain will be tuned to this music. I just call this thing as a music. This is like a music because it is so sweet. Right? It will be so happy. You'll be so happy to listen to this thing. This is like a music. And then on the 11th day, or sometimes if I'm telling someone do it, and if they do it in front of me, at times once I find that yes, they are ready, then what you have to really do is it is like 2 fingers, and then when you say yes, I'm so good, and your name. So it is that tap. It is that tap. When if someone feels like that, yes, I have to be very confident when I speak on the stage. Right. So just before this has been done into the police department, right, that Gujarat Police Academy. So few of the inspectors, they said कि नहीं साहब हम बोल नहीं सकते, आप स्टेज पे मत बुलाना, नीचे जो पूछना हो. Said no, come, you have to. I trained them for just 3 minutes on this, and then that was a tapping mechanism. So it is like just before starting, they said, okay, dost, ab I'll tell you about that how I did that encounter of these two terrorists, and then he was explaining. After completion, he said, "Sahab, main bola." So it happens. This is so true. So that tapping, don't right now do it. Let your brain be convinced कि हाँ, right? वाली बोल के. But yes, that's what I am. Literally, right? That's the word. इससे खराब नहीं लिखना. मतलब you have to be the badass. शराफत छोड़ देना. Seriously, शराफत छोड़ देना, because you will be the fighter. You will be the fighter. Subjects will not be easy. Right? Subjects will be really killer subjects. But that's what, when you master the lion, then वो lion पालतू कुत्ते की तरह आपके पीछे आता है. You understand the concept so proper that then any of the interview, any of the exam is like peanuts. Whether it is medical, whether it is any of the technology, anything. But this is the secret. As we proceed, I'll keep on telling you more and more about it, so that it will be more and it will take about few months. But say it is a continuous process. आज से शुरू करेंगे तो after 100 days you'll be at a very different level. It's whether it is like you want to run, you want to do boxing, you want to do anything, medical, any subjects, it will be amazing. It will be amazing. Anything you want to ask, anything. This point is totally clear. टैपिंग अभी मत करो आशीष, अभी टैपिंग के लिए नहीं. टैपिंग इज आफ्टर 10 days. अभी मत. दैट्स व्हाट आई सेड. सी अभी यार ये व्हाई आई सेड दैट आई जस्ट एक्सप्लेन्ड दैट this would be the next stage. Abhi for 10 days, just follow what has been said. Okay. These 3 sentences. Why I'm not telling you the sentence? Because then you'll be biased, right? Say, I am. Let's say, I'll say ke Bankim, I am as a Bankim, I am a super runner. I can run. I am an ultra marathon runner who can run 100 kilometers. I am 100-kilometer runner, and then your name. As if you are talking to yourself, taking the name. Your name should come in every sentence. This is just one example. So, got it? Bas, Arya, that's the thing. That's the thing. See, what you said is this. I was waiting for this question. But sometimes while appreciating ourselves, it feels maybe we don't deserve it. यार एक तो लड़की हो, राइट, इसलिए मैं गाली नहीं दे सकता. अगर कोई लड़का होता ना एंड ऑफलाइन होता ना, तो लिटरली बीसी की फुल फॉर्म वाली गाली बोलते. तो व्हाई डोंट यू डिजर्व इट? Why do you say that you don't deserve it? If you don't deserve it, then who deserves it? Who deserves it? मतलब उसके क्या? You have got 1600 grams of brain iron, and they are having 3200 ग्राम का ब्रेन है. और यार तेरे नाम पे तो इतनी बढ़िया that सुष्मिता सेन वाली सीरियल बनी है. I think, I mean, that serial name is Arya, na? Most probably it is Arya. I mean, she is so good, right? She's so good in that. Watch that serial. She's like a lioness. When you have got such a good name, then why? How can you even write that you deserve? सबको पता है, हाँ सबको पता है फुल फॉर्म वाली गाली, बोल तो ना सकता हूँ। प्लस यू लड़की, कोई लड़का होता ऑफलाइन होता तो उसका एनी मोर क्वेश्चन? हाँ दिस इज गुड, बहुत क्यूट, अच्छा है, बहुत क्यूट, वेरी नाइस। I know Nirman, you are not that Sharif, ठीक है, but I liked it बहुत। Got it? So such three sentences. अभी क्या कि if I write those sentences ना, हाँ. So if I write those sentences, then suddenly person becomes biased. If something comes into our brain, it means that we do think that we deserve it. Definitely, Shilpa. Right? Definitely. अच्छा मैं see how to become positive. Forget about positive. कुछ नहीं positive. Be the best version. Just लिखो ना 3 sentence. Positive, negative, क्या कुछ नहीं. As a person, as the best person, most powerful, most beautiful, most intelligent, right? लिखो, make 3 sentences. Positive, negative, वो सब theory. No, we'll not be going on something because see, once this is done ना, then कितने के दिमाग में होता है कि no, कहता है कि मैं तो बहुत पतला हूँ, मैं तो बहुत मोटा हूँ, मैं तो बहुत मोटी हूँ, मेरा तो वेट कम है, so I am not good looking, right? All those, and these are all assumptions. Especially, I really hate, bluntly बोलता हूँ, I hate those teachers जो कहते हैं कि अरे तू तो गधा है, तुझे कुछ नहीं आएगा, and then every time he watches the गधा ना, right, तो उसके दिमाग में होता है कि मतलब मुझे कुछ नहीं आता, मुझे कुछ नहीं आता, right? This is like a programming. Right? This is like a programming. When the teacher, if anyone, cruel, मतलब to fail someone by half mark. But yeah, it happened. It happened. हाँ, say how to be consistent. वही तो मैं बोल रहा हूँ. 10 दिन के लिए, just for 10 days, सिर्फ 10 दिन के लिए इतना करना. You don't have to spare any time extra, right? No extra time is needed. दिन में कुछ नहीं करना. No. Can you hear me? There was some glitch. I don't know. Maybe now it seems correct. So this is what is to be. Yeah. Oh. So this is what is to be. Follow it. Follow it very rigorous, very without doubting on anything. Just for 10 days. Just for 10 days. Just 5 minutes before you go to sleep. Bus. This much is to be done. So step by step, I'll keep on injecting one after the another tricks. And do keep a track of it. And no point of time in NLP, you have to spend more than 10 minutes a day. But its effect, they will be miraculous. Okay. So I think we stop at this point. If there is any question, yes, we can answer. Anything you want to ask. Or yes, all those emails, in case if I missed the mail, and because it's a huge list, and in case if I missed it, please send the mail again. I'll take care that I reply. Because it has happened that sometimes I open the email and then if I'm distracted, and so that I feel like it has been answered. All right. So thank you so much and wish you a very happy weekend. You can ask anything and everything, right? Without any hesitation, you can ask anything. No worries. Because when I say can you ask personal things? Surely, because if it is like at times it happens like it is such a big burden on heart, right? And with that extra burden, you can't run longer. So please leave it. No worries, you can ask. And it remains, yes. It always remains between you and me, right? Never ever such things they are like neither disclosed nor the name is taken. I'll be telling you about visualization later, right? First you follow this and then we'll be adding one after the another points to make it more powerful and more effective. So thanks a lot and see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye. Start with general anatomy. Or I would say you can start with the upper limb, not general anatomy. Start with upper limb of anatomy, so that you get a feel. You get a feel that how the dissection will be progressing, because this is the most complicated. Otherwise, rest nobody is here. Right? That is more or less theory. That is the formation of bones and all those things. But upper limb, that is the real practical, something which you'll be facing in everyday your clinical life. So be good in that first. So in upper limb, start with the upper limb. My pleasure. Thank you.